everyone. Hey, it is Ella Jones with Reliance Real Estate Services in Fullerton, California. And today we are going to be discussing the current housing market for October 2020. So let's begin. So in this first slide, Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American, is quoted as saying, housing has experienced a strong V-shaped recovery and is now exceeding pre-pandemic levels. Prior, from January to March, the economy was very strong. However, first week of March to about June, we saw a huge dip, and now things are actually starting to improve, which has formed a V-shaped recovery. And in our next slide, from the Housing Market Recovery Index, you can see to the left in the green, beginning about February 1st, the economy was strong. Things were headed in an upswing. Well, then March 7th, you can see the red, the down arrow. That line dropped dramatically to May 2nd. And then here again, things are starting to pick up, and year-over-year inventory levels. So you can see that. And the next slide, year-over-year changes in key metric. Now, showing time has reported across the country 60.7% increase year-over-year of showings. That is huge. 25% purchase applications year-over-year. From last year, we are up an increase. And pending deals, we are at 21.8%, almost 22% in pending deals. Now, for existing home sales and new home sales, those are also up. Existing home sales are up 10.5%, and new home sales are up 43%. Now, where we're not up is with existing home inventory and new home inventory. Existing home inventory is down 39%, and new home inventory is down 33%. So can we keep up this momentum? Well, let's talk about that. So with consumer spending in the United States, as you can see, in January to April, consumer spending went down across the United States, negative 31.7%. However, in the last few months, consumer spending has been gaining, and now we're down, but we're not as far down as we were in April of 2020. Now, the changes in consumer spending. So the states in blue are above what they were last year. The states in orange are about 1 to 2% just above. And then the states in red, such as California, where we're at, is still down 12.4%. And that could be attributed to tourism and travel. We're still working on it, but we are still down in consumer spending since the beginning of COVID. Now, for unemployment, we know we are at 7.9% right now of unemployment. But in the last 5 months, unemployment, that percent has continued to decline and drop. And the economists are predicting that unemployment will continue to decline, which is great news for everything, for consumer spending and housing. So now, are we in the same kind of recession as before? Well, the good news, no. The Great Depression, you can see how many months that was. The Great Recession was 30 months, the 80s oil situation, and then at 2020, our recession, it's been 4 months. Now, the total number of the total number of mortgages in active forbearance has decreased. So as you can see, from May 29th at 4.76%, we are down to 3.59% here in September. To the right on the graph, people are paying their mortgages. So that is also great news that there are no new active forbearances. So what are the experts saying? Well, if you look at the months of inventories of homes for sale, it is definitely a seller's market. We are under 6 months of inventory. We are seeing homes sell within 30 days. So also the percentage of home equity. Homeowners, 42.1% do have equity in their home, which really will help, and that will curve having another housing crash of 2008. So projections on future home prices. Well, as you can see, don't wait. According to several big industries such as Freddie Mac and Zillow, the home projection of future home prices are actually should be those projections over the current months. Those, I would say, it's still a great time to sell. It's still a great time to buy. So Bill McBride from Calculated Risk, he is quoted as saying, this is very different from the increase in delinquencies following the housing bubble. Lending standards have been fairly solid over the last decade, and most of these homeowners have equity in their home, and they will be able to restructure their homes if they are employed. So that's all great news. Now, the one obstacle from Realtor.com, since the beginning of COVID, the pandemic in March, nearly 400,000 fewer homes have been listed compared to last year. That is leaving a gaping hole in the U.S. housing inventory. As a result, home prices are accelerating at double of last year's pace. So here's the seller traffic index. Very strong is the dark blue, strong is the lighter blue, stable, gray is weak, and light gray is very weak. California, we are very, very weak with seller traffic. And Texas is very strong and stable. So just to give you an idea. So year-over-year change in list price, as you can see, new listings and total listings. That graph here, the difference in the numbers of the new listing versus total listings. So existing home sales, sales are up 10.5%. Listing are down 39%. We are experiencing a massive inventory shortage. New homes sales are up 43%, while listings are down 33%. That is what is causing some of the rise in the prices. So suburban areas outperforming urban areas during the recovery. You can see here number of homes for sale, negative 41.3%. Online shoppers, up 53.9%. And properties are selling 11.4% faster, and price acceleration 3.2%. So now we look at this quote from John Burns Consulting. Builders we spoke with in the active adult space told us standing inventory numbers are low, and some are tripling the number of standing inventory homes they produce to satisfy demand. Some are also simplifying what they offer in their homes, a process that streamlines housing production and keeps new home prices attainable. And that is John Burns Consulting. So Mark Fleming, also again, chief economist at First American, As homeowners gain equity in their homes, they're more likely to consider using that equity to purchase a larger home or more attractive home. The wealth effect of rising equity in today's housing market, fast rising demand against the limited supply of homes for sale, has resulted in continued home price appreciation. So we are continuing to see home price appreciation. So here is a map of the United States and the average equity gain, and you can see that the dark blue, 20,000, light blue, 10 to 20. The states across the United States all have positive equity gain. No one is in the red. This year, 2020, home equity gain has been just across the United States. So to quote Peter Kahn, former publisher of the Wall Street Journal, truth is attainable by laying fact upon fact. So thank you for joining me. If you have any other real estate questions, please contact me. I'm available to